All right, welcome. I'm going to give you a short tour of the course in Canvas so you get an idea of how to navigate it. So when you start, this is what you see. This is the splash page for Speech 128, 61, 90. And you'll see it's pretty clear cut. You just click here on the link to get started. Start the course. And now when you do that, you're going to come into what are called the modules. Now, the modules are the way to navigate the course. They're really just like little chapters in a book, right? And you just have to kind of follow along as you go right through from one to the end. And the important thing is to click on each one because they're all links that open up things. Like, for example, this will open up the syllabus. There's a little welcome letter. There's just something about me to kind of meet your professor. How to navigate the course. There is a little meet and greet activity, and there's a little orientation quiz that you do by the end of the first week. Really simple though quiz. Don't worry about it. It's like super fast, easy. It's not a hard quiz to do at all. The important thing is to look at the due dates as you go along, right? Like here it is, January 29th for that orientation quiz. All right, the next module is called About the Course, and this just gives you some information about what the course covers. It does talk about the very first speech that we do, because this is, technically it's a speech class. Interpersonal communication covers a lot more than just public speaking. Public speaking is just a little fraction of this course, so don't worry, it's a little fraction. But there's something we do called the war story, where you get to tell a story about a time when you got into some kind of trouble, and then what happened as a result. Of course, it's all done by video. And there's a link here you want to take a look at here. It's War Story Examples. And this is going to open up my Vimeo page. You'll see at first that it looks like it doesn't want to connect. You have to actually click on the link, as Canvas doesn't embed that type of website exactly. So when you go here, you'll see, actually, we've recorded about 120 examples of war story speeches. And you don't have to watch all these, but you should watch at least a couple. And you can just click here and say, hey, I wonder what this person gave as their war story, or this person, or this person. They're actually really quite, I think, entertaining and fun to watch. So take a look at those, and you'll get a good sense, right, of what it's about, right, what it's about. So you can continue with that, and then that'll prepare you to be able to go and do your war story presentation, which wouldn't be due until February 5th, right? So you have a little extra time to plan that out. This link will give you some details. The next big module is called the skill package. Now this is like the big project that we do in this course. And it's a little involved, and so there is a video on just how to do it itself. I had a separate video for that. But it is a project that starts at the beginning and goes all the way through to the end of the course. Your first part though isn't really due until March 5th, so you have a little time to like work on it. You can get an early start, of course, if you want, but you don't have to start uploading things until then. And it's broken down into 8 activities, and I have you upload 2 of the activities at a time. So you'll see here, this is March 5th. There's a discussion that you do about it. And then April 2nd, 23rd, and 14th, it's due towards the end of the course. So you will see as you get there to that. Now, the rest of the course is broken down into modules that I just call chapters. And this is a little bit like having a textbook where there's a chapter for each topic. And you'll see that it's pretty straightforward as you read through here. You will see that by the end of chapter 2, there's something called a stop and think. This is a little activity that asks you some questions that you need to type up answers to that you will see. The key thing when you're doing any of these assignments is to make sure that whenever you turn in something written, that it has to be at least 1 full page, which is 250 words. I'll be doing word counts on it to make sure. Just make sure you do at least a full page for any kind of activity that you do, whether it's a skill package activity or a stop and think or whatever. There's a short quiz that comes up here toward the end, and this is February 12th on chapters 1 and 2. 3 and 4 kind of similar, right? Similar types of ideas. There's other links to do. There's a stop and think. There's a little quiz. It's moving us into March. Chapter 4, nonverbal communication. You're getting into some more links here that have all kinds of cool videos and articles. Again, there's a stop and think. And there's a little experiment that you do called the nonverbal experiment, which you get to read about when you click on this. And then chapter 5 covers listening. Similar arrangement, right? You'll see that there's an activity for you to do. And then conflict resolution coming up in chapter 6. And then chapter 7, communication in difficult situations, right? Like talking to someone who's told you that they have cancer, or someone who's grieving from a suicide they know, or this kind of thing. This is really complicated stuff. And there's a reflection paper to do on that as well. And you'll see that embedded here, actually at the end of chapter 6, although you can do these whenever you need to, there's a couple extra credit opportunities. In the final area here, the final presentation, this is where you'll basically be talking about your final is talking about your skill package. It's a short little video that you make, 2 to 3 minutes, talking about what you did in your skill package. There's some really good example videos that you can watch as well. So it's good to watch a couple so you get a feel for what other people have done. And there's also an extra credit at the very end, which is a little course evaluation. Also within Canvas, it's important to note that you do have access to the discussions here that you'll go to when you have a discussion, and your grades. And there'll be announcements that I'll pop in, usually at least once a week. I'll give you some kind of announcement. There will be office hours in this course that I have on Thursdays at 5 o'clock, and there's a link to that here. So that's pretty much a quick orientation for you.